I kept putting off certificates for my community for one simple reason. Every solution I found created more admin work, not less. I found a way, and that's exactly what I'm sharing with you in this video. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Today, I want to show you how I finally solved my certificate issuing for my upcoming membership community, Brand Masters. This video is sponsored by Certifier, and I'm partnering with them to walk through their platform and show you how it replaces the manual certificate process entirely, from design to email delivery to tracking. I'll show you exactly how this works using a real use case, my own, so you can decide if this makes sense for your course, community, or training program. The first mistake that people make with certificates is treating them like one-off designs. If you want this to scale, the setup has to be intentional from the start. Let's start with the certificate design itself, because this is where everything begins. It's also a lot of fun. On the left, you can see Certifier's template library. There are some great ones in here. Start from a professionally designed template, or you can design from scratch. For Brand Masters, I'm going to start from a template, choose a clean layout, and then I will be locking in the logo, colors, and overall structure. In fact, I'll take a second to do that right now. Okay, I sped that up, but you get the idea. I'm having a lot of fun customizing this for my brand. It's looking great. And most importantly, the design feels consistent with my brand. On the canvas, instead of static text, Certifier uses dynamic fields, like the recipient's name, the certificate number, which means this one layout can easily adapt for every member automatically. Up in the top corner, love this part, there's a preview tool. I can type in a sample recipient's name and instantly see how those dynamic fields render in real time. That makes it easy to double check spacing, alignment, formatting before anything goes out. I can also add verification elements like a QR code directly on their certificate. In this case, I don't need that, but if I wanted to, this would be a good way to have something that's not just a visual asset, but anyone reviewing it, like an employer or HR team, they could scan it and verify that it's authentic. Once my design here is ready to go, I never have to redesign it again. It becomes a reusable foundation for every certificate I issue moving forward. This is where most certificate workflows fall apart. Spreadsheets work until they don't. Now let's quickly talk about issuing certificates without doing this one by one. No one likes that. So I'm quickly setting up a group for Brand Masters completion with the most essential details. Then we can jump straight to the part that actually saves time. In Certifier, certificates are organized into groups that map to a course, module, or milestone, like completion in this case. Import manually or by spreadsheet, which I'll do. Make sure you've got permission. I upload a member list once instead of manually creating certificates or emails for every single person. Once this group exists, issuing certificates doesn't require any extra setup. Watch this. Make sure the fields are mapped, and then before I send anything, I can preview each certificate with real recipient data. This preview step is so essential. It lets me confirm the names, the formatting quickly before issuing in bulk, preview the credential itself, as well as the credential URL, which, by the way, you can see I've totally customized with my logo, and even the email. This is completely customizable, which makes this platform so appealing for people like me who care about branding, want that extra bit of professionalism. Navigate to your account settings where there's a whole branding tab, and then under the emails tab, you can get designing and customizing like I have. Fonts, colors, logos, you name it. So good. When everything looks right, then I can either issue certificates immediately or schedule them to go out later. No manual PDFs or copying names or resending because of typos. This is so much better than all of that. Now, this next part often gets overlooked, but it matters more than people realize. The certificate experience doesn't end when you click send. Here's what Brand Masters members actually receive in their inbox. They get a branded email with a secure link to their credential. In this case, I left the Certifier branding, but you customize this. There's no account to create here for them, and there's no extra steps to access it. From that link, they can download a PDF version of the certificate if they want, but they're not limited to a static file. I love this. Because the certificate lives online, members can also share it publicly, add it directly to their LinkedIn profile. That is so cool. With a single click, then their credential stays accessible over time instead of getting lost as an attachment buried in an inbox. I don't know. It feels official. It feels credible. and it feels easy for the recipient, and that reflects directly back on your brand. This will help you decide quickly if the tool makes sense for you. Certifier works best if you issue certificates regularly, especially for course creators whose platforms already integrate with it, and there are many. For example, I have older courses on Teachable with hundreds of past students, and Certifier plugs directly into that kind of setup via Zapier. When someone completes a course, their certificate can be issued automatically without exporting lists or rebuilding your workflow. The same idea applies beyond courses. If you're running a membership community like my new one, Brandmasters, it has structured learning. You could issue certificates when someone finishes a pathway, or if you're using forms or surveys for events or training, a submission in something like Google Forms or Typeform can trigger a certificate instantly. And if your data lives in Google Sheets or Excel, Certifier can issue credentials straight from those rows. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's amazing. For internal teams, this works just as well. Maybe a new employee completes onboarding, a certification can be issued from your CRM or your LMS. And if your setup is more custom, tools like Zapier or Make let Certifier connect to thousands of other apps without writing any code. If you only issue one certificate a year, this might be overkill, but if you care about scale, consistency, and credibility, Certifier fits naturally into that stack. It is the best tool that I have come across for this. For me, Certifier finally solved a problem that I've been avoiding for all too long with my membership. I can issue certificates without manual work, members get something that they're proud to share, and the system holds up as the community grows. If that sounds useful for what you're building, I have linked to Certifier below so that you can explore it for yourself. I'm Pallen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.